When I was 8 months old, my mother passed away. She suffered from an epileptic seizure in her sleep. My father found her, and you can say I lost them both that day. He never fully recovered emotionally and battled with drugs and alcohol for his entire life until he too passed away in his sleep in January of 2008. My grandmother took care of me the best that she could, yet I was a very depressed child. There were only a few things that could comfort me, and food was one of them. It was easy to silently suffer then because although I was an emotional eater, I was not overweight. My grandmother gave me anything that I wanted because she could somehow see the pain in my eyes, and all I wanted was food. When I reached my teens, most of my peers would spend their allowances on clothing and shoes. I spent mine on junk food and beer, and as a result, I was nicknamed Greedy. By the time I turned 18, other bad habits began to form. I became addicted to illegal drugs, adding to my food and alcohol addictions. When I turned 20, I had a reason to fight for my life and live it the best that I could. I had a newborn son who I wanted to raise in a healthy environment. I gave up the drugs and alcohol, but I clung to my food addiction. Where there used to be drugs, there was then food. And where there used to be alcohol, I replaced it with food. I had gained over 50 pounds while I was pregnant, and this is where the emotional overweight roller coaster ride began. Up and down from sizes 10 through sizes 20 was how I lived in my 20s and some of my 30s. I had only stayed a size 10 for short periods of time though, because after each loss, another tragedy would occur and depression would lead me back to emotional eating. I'd always go back to my comfort source, food and more food. My 30s came and I decided to get drastic. I tried the Atkins diet, the bacon and grapefruit diet, the only eating fruits and vegetables diet, only eating when you felt hungry plan, the 10-day fast plan, and I even went as far as not eating food at all for 40 days and 40 nights. I did this twice within 2 years. It was approved by my then family doctor, and he just instructed me to drink 100% juice along with my water. It wasn't wise, but I lost weight. It was a horrible way to do it, and it didn't last. When my depression worsened, my therapist suggested medication. Suicidal thoughts, insomnia, and emotional pain became the norm, and I had to do something. Most of my issues came because I was unhappy with myself and not living out to my full potential. Being overweight caused me to lack confidence and self-worth, and I knew it was the very thing holding me back from living my life. I stopped taking my medication. I lost a little weight, but when the next curveball hit my life, the pounds came rushing back. There were always other ways to cope, but food was my most desired mechanism. Last spring, my husband and I visited our current family doctor, and he made it very clear to me that if I was unable to lose weight on my own, his best advice was that I start taking the antidepressants again. I had to do something. I just did not want to go that route at all. When my husband and I were on vacation last summer in August, I decided to continue reading the book he bought for me on Valentine's Day. I Got This by Jennifer Hudson. She has been an inspiration ever since she did her first Weight Watchers commercial. Every word that she spoke, I received it as if she was directly talking to me. The first time I began reading her story, it tapped into my heart so deep where the emotional pains lied that I had to put it down. It was calling me higher, but I was afraid. By August 2012, I was ready. For our entire trip, I read that book. And on the last day, right before we left the hotel, I read the last sentence and closed the book in tears. She was right there with me through the entire book, but now she had to go. Yet, she left me with the charge and responsibility to take care of myself and live my best life. On September the 12th, 2012, I joined Weight Watchers, and I haven't looked back since. I have currently lost 63 pounds, and I am only a few weeks away from becoming a lifetime member. I've reached my goal in less than 1 year. Weight Watchers Points Plus program is all I talk about, and many people have taken my advice to join the program. I read I Got This to get started, and I reread it to stay focused. I loaned it to several others for inspiration as well. There is some kind of motivational tool and inspiration out there for everyone. This just so happened to be mine, and it came at a perfect time. I hope that I can now be a source of inspiration to others. That's my new goal. As a result of living a new, healthy life, I discovered a great quote from within myself. Get to it. You won't regret it. Everything I've done on this journey, whether boring, difficult, tedious, or hard, I haven't regretted it. I'm loving life, and I love that I'm able to fully engage in what causes my heart to come alive, helping others to do the same. People who take advantage of this program, seriously take advantage of it, are making and seeing changes for one reason alone: because it works. When I realized joy was for the taking, I cut me a slice. This meant being honest with myself and written things I didn't like. When I was in that body, I didn't love myself at all. Others seemed to adore me until my mask became too small. Trapped in an unhealthy frame, I hated me, I hated her. Losing weight, gaining it back, it all became a blur. Only me stood in the way of the life that I prefer. Stepped in a new life off of the emotional roller coaster. I knew I could do better, I knew I could do more. Dreams of size smalls in my bags as I left the store. One day I saw a trailer, J-Hub was at it again. She wrote a book about her life and how you could win. My hubby gave it that as a gift, and I'll never be the same. Weight Watchers gave me the tools, and I've made the change. What?